Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, can you hear me now, Ollie and Luna and whoever's in the chat? Good. So sorry about that. I had to get some stuff done here, a little bit late, but it works. Good. Hello, Dougie the Gamer. Luna. Douglas, I'm guessing that's you. Can you hear me? Someone or everyone give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. You can give me a thumbs down if you can't hear me. Hello, Kayla. Hello, Charlotte. Okay, Charlotte can hear me. That's good. I got a question. How would you do 3x? Ollie, I can do it for you, no problem. Good. Everyone can hear me. Good. So this is how it is. If you guys want, you can either go with the book and tell me what page to go to, because I have the book. And I can just grab and cut and paste a picture and put it in here, and I can do it for you. Ollie, I can do yours. See, I'm going to write it down here just so I remember and that it doesn't get lost in the chat. Let's see, that was 3x squared minus 15 is equal to 12x. Okay, so I'll keep that in mind. I'll put that on the side. Just let me get my new thing here going. All right, so, oh, I missed my picture. I had something for my picture. You probably don't get the joke because my picture's missing. Integral, there we go. So initially I had a joke for Charlotte and my picture went missing. and it's supposed to be like this. Now, this is more like you guys when you look at math, I think. So, all good. Welcome, everybody. Let us begin by starting with all these problems. So if you got some problems or if you have anything you want to ask, yeah, I think the picture makes more sense now that I put the math in there. So, and I think I got Charlotte's shade of blonde here as well, and Luna's new hairdo. I think it's about this color as well. So I'm hoping it worked all right. So up next, let's do all these problems here. Grab that, cut that out. Let's start a new everything. All right, Ollie, let's do yours, okay? So you guys should notice this one here. It's a quadratic. We have the x squared term, right? So I know it's some sort of quadratic problem. Specifically, you have 3 terms. I taught you guys that the general form of quadratic looks something like this, right? ax squared plus bx plus c. So here's your ax squared. Your bx is on the other side, and your c is your negative 15. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to throw this all on the same side, Ollie. So if this 12x becomes negative 12x, and you have subtract 15. Anytime you have 3 terms with a quadratic, what I'm first going to do is put them all on the same side. So this is 3 terms. And if you're like, well, what's a quadratic with 2 terms? Maybe something like this is a quadratic with 2 terms. Notice in this one here, the c is missing at 0. So in this case, we have the c here. The next thing I'm going to do, Ollie, to make this simpler is I don't like having numbers in front of my x squared. That's really ugly. I like 1. So if I divide this by 3, divide this by 3, and divide this by 3, and technically we divide the 0 by 3, then we get rid of all this ugly 3 in front. So I'll have x squared, and of course 12 divided by 3 is negative 4x. Negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5. And of course 0 divided by 3 is 0. And now that I have this really nice 1x squared, this is box method, isn't it? All right, so we have the box method here. 2 numbers that multiply to get negative 5, and the same 2 numbers that add up to get the middle number, which is negative 4. So what are those 2 numbers, Ollie? All right, 1 and negative 5, good. So negative 1 and 5, negative 1 and 5, that works here and that works here. So what you do is you put your x here and here, and your number is negative 1 here, and your other number is positive 5, okay? Now, remember we learned to factor, but now we need to solve. So make sure you do the last step, right? You want to make sure you solve for x. So what value do I put into this x so this whole thing becomes 0? That should equal to 1 in this case, right? And then, I screwed up, Ollie. Sorry, you said 1 and negative 5. Sorry, so positive 1, negative 5, positive 1, negative 5. So let me just cut this out. My bad. Let's do this again. So you were right, Ollie. You have x and you have positive 1 is your first number and negative 5 is your second number, and that's equal to 0. All right. So now that I got those things right, I want to put a number into x here so that this plus 1 is 0. So if that's the case, one of your answers is going to be negative 1, because you know that negative 1 plus 1 is 0. So we know that's one solution. And now what number do I put into this x so I get 0 here? Well, that's 5, isn't it? Because 5 subtract 5 is 0. So these are your two solutions for that quadratic there. All right. So that's what we got for this one here. So just a hint for you, Ollie, when you're doing any of this solving, a lot of the time I try and do table method, right? And you realize if you look at this here, you can see that if I drew a table on every term, there was a common 3 in each one. And in an equation, if you divide it out, then it's easiest. No worries, Ollie. So, all right. What else do people want to look at tonight? Open up the book just in case people have any questions from the book. I have a problem with question 6 from the test. I had no absolute. Could you please explain it? I am Maria. Okay. Which test is that, Maria? Luna, I got -1 here. -1 and 5. And Maria, which test you have to tell me which test you're talking about. I'll open up one of the old tests. Tests. 11 trimester 2. The measurement test. I could imagine you were asking me about the measurement test, maybe. Question 5. Measurement test, no problem. For those asking, what if there was in the question? What if it was Ollie? That type of for Ollie, your question, that's an extended box method. It's more advanced. Then you have to use a more advanced method. I've only shown it a few times in class. That's more stuff in grade 12 that you're gonna have to do. Doug. It's -1 and 5. So two numbers that multiply to get -5 is +1 times -5. This is correct. And two numbers that add up to get -4, that's +1 and -5. So my answers are x plus 1 and x minus 5 in the brackets. But when I solve it, I need this x to be the opposite sign of this number here. So it's -1. And this x has to be the opposite sign of this one, so it's +5. Because this is -4 in here. So that has to make this -5 here. Do we still have an issue with this quadratic? All right, so give me a thumbs down if people still didn't figure out that I got -1 and 5. You could use extended box, Luna, but anytime there's a common factor, I would divide it out by all terms. It's just easier. I mean, it's obvious that 3, 12, and 15 have a factor of 3. It's just a little bit of more of a hassle. Maria, is this the question that you're talking about here? So tell me if this is the question here. All right, good. So you guys got it. No problem. Okay. Maria, this is the question. So in this question, I'll bring the questions up so you can see what they were initially. So I had, how much cola does T2 have than Ollie? So I'm going to name these cups so I know what they are. Let's see, T2 is each this. So this is T2's glass here, T2. Glass, Ollie takes glass 2, and glass 3 was Lewis. So the first question was, how much more cola does T2 have than Ollie? So you have to find out, if I fill this up to the rim with cola, right, this whole thing, that's volume. So what you need to do is figure out how much volume is in this cup here, and it's a cylinder. So the volume formula for the cylinder is pi r squared times height. And then here what happened is, if you draw a line here, you realize that you have a cylinder here, and the lower half is half a circle. So you need to find the volume of half the circle and then add it to the volume of the cylinder above here. So this is, let's call this volume 2 of the cylinder, and down here we'll call this volume 1. All right. So for the first one, if you want to calculate the volume in glass 1, it is pi times the radius, which is 3 squared, times the height, which is 6. And if we use my calculator, I just got to find it, one moment. All right. So if I do that quickly, it's times 9 times 6, and I get about 169.56 centimeters cubed. So that's how much is in this glass here. And then in glass 2, what I need to do is find the volume of the first cylinder, V2. So that, again, for the volume of the cylinder there, it's pi r, which is in this case 3 again, squared, times the height of this cylinder. So the height of this piece here is 3. So this cylinder from the top piece up here, the height is 3. And then I have to add that to this half circle part in this cup. So this is like a half circle. So we need the formula for the volume of a sphere. So at the top of my head, equation for volume of a sphere. Just got to look it up because I haven't memorized it. I think it's 4/3 pi r cubed, is it? Yeah. So for this piece here, the volume for a sphere, half a sphere, remember, is a circle like a soccer ball, right? So if you want half of one, you take your 4/3 pi r cubed, which is the volume for a whole sphere, but we have to divide that by 2 because the lower part of this glass is half of one. And if you're wondering how I know, it's because the total here is 6, so that means this is 3. So from the middle, the lowest part of this glass to the middle, it's 3. So I know that the second half of this bit would be equally amount a sphere. Okay. So if you know that, you can use your formulas to figure that out. So if I do, let's see, pi times 3 squared times 3, this gives me, this bit here gives me 84.78. Now my radius is the same for this thing. My radius for the circle is 3 again, right? So what I want to do is go 4/3 times pi times 3 and then divide that by 2. So if I do that here with my calculator, 4 divided by 3 times pi times 3 cubed. Oops, sorry, this has to be cubed here, right? 3 cubed. And I'm going to take all of that and I'm going to divide it by 2, and I end up getting, for this bit here, I get 56.52. Now if I add those two together, 56.52 plus 84, I get The total here is 141.3. Now, as you can see, T2 has more. He has 169.56 centimeter cubed amount of Coke in his glass, and Ollie has 141.3. So if you subtract those two, you can see how much more one person has than the other one. So if I take 169.56, subtract 141.3, I end up getting, in this case, so 169.56, subtract 141.30, you end up getting, in this case, 28.26 centimeters cubed. So that's how much more Coke Ollie has than T2. And then the next question was the same thing. It was how much more Coke does Ollie have than Lewis? Well, we already know how much Coke Ollie has. It's this amount, isn't it? We added them together. So now we just have to figure out the volume of this glass. And this is a cone in here. So if you look, the cone goes all the way to the bottom, and this is all filled up with Coke. So you need to find the volume of a cone. So if we once again grab that formula, volume of a cone, it is 1/3 pi r squared times h. So 1/3 pi r squared times h. And then once you find this, you're going to subtract the two again. All right. So I can continue on the question. I think that it's pretty explanatory. The only difference in this cone that I give you here, if you look at it here, you have the radius, which is 3, right? But you don't have the height. But if I drew a line, if I take my red marker and I draw a line from the middle all the way down to the bottom, and then I draw a line to the outside, and then I draw one more line, this makes a right angle triangle in there. So that's the tricky part. So if you want to find the height, you have to pull out this triangle like so. All right. And now the height is this. You know that this is 3 from the middle, and this is 7. So you have to use Pythagoras to find this height. So it really was a pretty in-depth question. All right. So Ollie, I didn't get the grades back, sorry. I see if I can try and work on them tonight. Like, give us a question we can try for, like, I understand, thank you. Okay, so Maria, there's your question, and then you have to subtract the two. It's the first step is, like, you have to understand finding the volume and subtracting the two, okay? So, Ollie, yeah, I can give you a question. I can take something from the book. I can take something hard from the book. I can take something easy and do it on the left, and I can do something hard on the right, so that people, depending on what you want to get, you can do the both. So just give me a second here as I get some questions. Right, so this here, coordinate geometry transfer, quadratic equations. You guys make sure you know how to use the quadratic formula. Those are like really, really quite easy questions if you have to do a quadratic formula. Yeah, I think it's quite easy marks. All right, so so if I take all this, this one's not so bad on the right, and then I'll give you some other ones so that people can try some different things. Something like this you can try too if you want, because it's in a different format, so sometimes this is tricky. So I'll put 3 side by side. I'll name them 1, 2, and 3, and then you can ask me which one you don't understand, and I'll give you a few minutes to give it a try. So there's those two. And then like maybe a 2 to 3 stars more, something like this one here. All right, so here I'll label them so that when people on the chat want to ask me about them, they can ask me about them. So let's label this number 1, number 2, and number 3. And then if those are too hard here, I'll give you like a light one that I think everyone should be able to do. Here's an easy one, or an easier one here. Like so, I'll call this question number 4. So here, for those people who want to do questions 4 is the easiest, I think. So this is the easiest. This becomes still a 1-star question, I think. This, yeah, 1 star to 2 star if you know. This 1 star to 2 star as well if you know what to do. So I'll let you guys attack those for a couple minutes. I just gotta check on my chicken. Very hard, please. Okay, easy, please. Sophia, you got one for Sophia, I know. And then number 2 is something similar. Let's see. And then if you want something crazy, if you want extended box method for those people, yeah, okay. This one I think is a relatively straightforward extended box method for Douglas and Luna if you want. Okay, so I'll call extended box method number 5. So everyone can attack these problems to try your luck. I'll give another easy one, Sophia, so it's not. I'll give you a little bit of a stranger one because I think this one here gets people mixed up. So I'll call this last one number 6 here. So this last one, let's call this number 6. Okay. So there you go. That should keep everyone busy for a little bit of time. Get out your paper, pens, try your luck. And then I'll do it from easiest to hard in a moment. So no worries. You guys go for that. I'm going to check on my chicken so I don't burn it. I'll press mute here and I'll watch the chat. Yeah, looks good. You like spicy chicken? I got spicy chicken. And a nice can of Coke. I hope your exams have been going okay, you guys. Any disasters? Crispy, juicy chicken. Yeah, homemade chicken. That's awesome. I am registered. Good. I hope you guys did good on your exam. How was history? No, geography today. You guys took geography. How did it go? Because everyone was saying they don't know. We all failed. Oh, really? That bad? Terrible. Did anybody have a good time with their the history? Oh, there's my chicken timer. It's ready. Because all we revised wasn't on the test. Ah, well, that's not very good. Douglas, you thought it was okay? That's not. You guys still working on some of these? Can I do one yet? Can I do number 4? Is that okay? Whoever's working on 4, give me a thumbs down if you don't want me to start it yet, because I can give you. And some didn't even revise at all. Yeah, that's not very good. Oh, you still have June, right? You still have the June exams. So let's hope those go better. Hi, Lewis. Welcome. He's screaming. He's got his caps lock on. All right, Ollie, I see your thumbs down. Lewis, quit shouting. It's hurting my ears. Douglas, I think I left enough room for you. And same with Sophia. If you need extra, if any of you guys need extra paper, there is one question that's I think you're gonna faint when you see it. It is a 3-star question. And you might need extra paper. So I'll see if I can show up and check to see if you get extra paper for that. Can I start one? Number 4. Can I start any of these ones? Can I start number 6? All right, let me just move these over. I'll start with yeah, it's only one 3-star question. Like we have to make sure that Matthias doesn't get a 7. Remember, guys? So I mean, I have to give these 3-star questions. Someone already dislikes my video. Well, that's good. Yes, Sophia, don't worry. All right, let me do one of these things. Let me do first of all. Let me try number 6. Okay, so I'm trying this one for anybody paying attention. Okay, so the first thing I noticed with question number 6 is that you have the ax squared. Okay, first of all, every time I reference these questions, I'm going to reference the general equation of a quadratic so people know. So ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So anytime I reference any of these quadratics, you have to know about these ones here. Okay? So in this example here, if you look, I have the ax squared bit, which is here, and the bx, but it's just on the other side. But this is your b. So in this case, your b is 5 and your a is 4. So when I have this scenario where the c is missing, all right, so notice that there's no, in this there's a constant number here. Down here, the 6 is the constant number. Here, the 5 is the constant number. In this number 6, there's no constant number. So if you have this pattern on the test, you should put everything on the same side. So I should have 4x squared, and when I throw this over onto this side, it becomes minus 5x is equal to 0. All right, so that's the first thing. Okay. Now, the second thing I notice is anytime you have the c missing, this for sure is a table method. So what I do is I take out the x here. And if I take out an x on each table, I have a 4x left here and negative 5 here, and I have it equal to 0. All right. So now that we factored this, we can ask ourselves, okay, how do I get I need a value here that's equal to 0, or I need this value here to equal to 0. Well, if I equate this to 0, it's very simple. X is equal to 0. That's one of our solutions. So whenever your c is equal to 0, you have one of the solutions has to be x is equal to 0. That always happens. Always, always, always. Okay. Then the next thing is we need this bit in the bracket to equal 0. So if I do that, I can rewrite it like this. All right, so somehow I got to find an x value that is, if I install it or if I input it into here, I should get 0. So now this is a linear equation and I can solve. So if I put the 4x on, or pardon me, the negative 5 on the other side, I have 4x is equal to 5. And I divide by 4, and now I have x is equal to 5 over 4. So that's my second solution. All right. You guys are planning vacation. Here I am teaching you guys. You guys are awful. And then people are giving me dislikes. I'm going to cry. I'm going to hang up and you guys can sit in the chat by yourselves. All right. Does anyone want me to do any other ones, or you guys just want to hang out and chat with each other? Because you guys can go on WhatsApp and chat with each other. So, all right. So that was my first one. So my solutions for this is x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 5 over 4. All right. Which one does somebody want me to do next? Because if people don't volunteer what they want me to do, then I will. So Douglas, is any of these ones here you want me to try? All right, so Ollie, you want me to do number 3, and Luna, you want me to do number 1. Okay, I'll do number 3 first, Ollie, and then I'll do number 1. Okay. With number 3, you guys should always know that you should never want fractions in equations. They're really awful. So the easiest way to get rid of these fractions, if you have a fraction equal to fraction, I can cross multiply the 2 that way, and I can cross multiply the x up in that way. So if you cross multiply everything, you should get 6 times 2, like so. That's the first thing you should do. Okay. The next thing you do is you should expand brackets. All right, so you have x squared plus 4x, and 6 times 2 is 12. The third thing you should notice is that you have an ax squared. Here, your 1x squared, you have a 4x, and you have a 12. So you have all three of these ones. And when you have all three, you have a box method. And if you have all three, you should put it all on the same side. So I put the 12 over here, and you have x squared plus 4x minus 12 is equal to 0. And now this is just a box method. All right. So you need two numbers that multiply to get negative 12, or yeah, two numbers that multiply to get negative 12 and add up to get positive 4. So someone on the chat, two numbers that multiply to get negative 12 but add up to get positive 4. All right, no response. Negative 2 and 6. All right, so negative 2 and positive 6. Very good. And that's equal to 0. So finally, your last step is to figure out, take the opposite sign of these in the bracket. So if this is negative 2, the x has to be the opposite sign as the solution, so positive 2. In this example, we have positive 6, so our other value has to be negative 6 here. All right, so there you go. So there's our two solutions for this one. That's how you do that one there. All right, and I think the next one, so Charlotte, you want me to do 5. Luna, I'll do 1 here for you, okay? Negative 2 and positive 2 and 6. Very good for those who are answering. Luna, this is just a mess. There's no x squareds anywhere. And anytime you have to solve equations, you always should always expand your brackets. For example, I should expand this, and I should expand this as well. All right. Ollie, this one here was number 3, Ollie. So if I expand this, I get x squared plus 5x plus 2x plus 12 is equal to 0. Next thing you want to do is add like terms. So x squared, 5x and 2x is 7x plus 12 is equal to 0. And now this is the easy part. It's a quadratic. There's 3 terms, x squared, 7x, and 12. So we have 1, 2, 3. If we have 3, it's the box method, all equal to 0. Two numbers that multiply to get 12 but add up to get 7. Well, I put my x, two numbers that multiply to get 12 add up to 7. I think 3 and 4 multiply to get 12, add up to get 7. Let me make some room here. Let me do this again so I have some more room, like that, and then that. X plus 3, x plus 4. Now all we need to do is take the opposite sign of these numbers here. So our answers, our solutions are negative 3, and x is equal to negative 4. Okay, Sophia, is this Sophia, is this helping at all when I'm showing you the box method thing? Because I've chosen a bunch of different ones and I'm trying to explain why I'm using my methods. For example, when you see 3 of the terms, that's box method, right? When you see only 2 of the terms, you put it outside and it's table method, all right? So I'm trying to show you some examples of different ones. Some of these ones are harder, but we can look at some more as well. The easiest one most of you should be able to do is something like 4x squared is equal to, I don't know, 24. Hey, look here, reminder to everyone. This question here, I know people are going to do it tomorrow. I mean, I know some of you are going to think, oh, it's easy, divide by 4 on each side. and then you get 6, and then you have to square root them. But please, everyone, remember, whenever you square root, there's a plus and a minus. All right, so make sure you remember your plus and minus tomorrow, guys. Plus, anytime you square root in the quadratic stuff, you have to do a plus or minus. Okay. Matthew, I have no say over the times at what time the tests start. You just have to wake up and conform sometimes, like the military. Thank you, Luna. Plus, ends minus. Yes, Luna, you can use pencil in the test. I don't mind. It says pen on there, but I don't like. I like you guys using pencil because you can erase it later and then fix your answers. All right, so I did question 1, question 3, question 6. Charlotte, you wanted question 5. Is that true? Yep, Luna, you have the formulas. Volume, area, surface area, volume, the different cones, hollow cone, hollow cylinder, top on the cylinder, things like this. All right. Tomorrow, 14 degrees tomorrow. My phone just told me it's going to be warm. Simultaneous equations. Yeah, we can do simultaneous equations. Let's see. Where's my simultaneous equations? Do I have simultaneous equations? Here. So simultaneous linear equations. You guys make sure you know how to do your inequalities and graphing your inequalities. That's important. Just so you guys know, I circled a bunch of questions on the worksheet. I think I sent it out to you. I'm not quite sure. Some of you might want to ask me about those just in case they're difficult. Simultaneous equations. Which one do you want me to do? Elimination, substitution? Douglas, I have a good one for you on the test because I know you like hard questions. A 3-star simultaneous equation. Let me see if I can find one. I'll put one up and then everyone can try it, and then I'll see if I can find something more difficult. So, for example, I know that for some people, you'll hate this one here. And for some people who understand simultaneous equations really well, it should be easy, but here. So, and I'll even make it fun for you. Solve for x and y with your choice of method. There you go. So here you go. So that you guys can get started on that for anyone who wants to try something. I'm going to kick people out of spam, remember, T2. And I'm going to take a screenshot of T2 writing this, and I'm going to send it straight to his parents. That's the other thing. So screenshot, here we go. Screenshot, done. And that's going to go straight to an email. Maria, question 4D from the test, please. Maria, are you talking about the measurement test again? Maria? Okay, so measurement test, let me get out. So anybody who's trying to do the test or trying to do simultaneous equation, you can work on that. Let's see. 4D, 4D, 4D. Question 4D. So there's this question here. So I'll keep the simultaneous equation up for anybody who wants to try the simultaneous equation. And I'll work on this question because Maria asked about it. All right. And then just to make sure, it said find the volume. Yeah, so you're going to find the volume of the shape. So the total volume here for this shape here, let's call this volume C for volume cone, and this is volume S for volume square. So you want to find the volume of the cone plus the volume of the square in order to get the what you would call the total volume, V of t. So the cone we know is it has a height of 10. And if we put a circle in the middle from the outside, this would be our radius. And it's the same width as this from here to here. So if this is 9, we know the radius has to be 4.5 here. So the radius of the cone is 4.5. And then now what we need to do is find the volume of the cone. So the volume of the cone, we went and figured that out earlier on, right? What was that again? The formula for the volume of the cone. Volume of cone formula. And that was 1/3 pi r squared times height. So pi r squared times height. So that's the volume of the cone. Plus you want to find the volume of this box here. So the volume of a cuboid, which is like a three-dimensional box, is length times width times height. All right. So we have, now we just have to fill in our values. So we have 1/3 times pi times our r, which is 4.5 squared, times our height, and our height is 10, plus length, which is 17, width, which is 9, times height, which is 5. So now you just have to make sure you put this in the calculator correctly. All right. So if I do this in the calculator, if I do this, let's see, 4.5 to the power, is clear, 4.5 to the power of 2 times 10 times pi times 1 divided by 3. And I add that to 17 times 9 times 5. This should equal to, Maria, 976.95 meters cubed. So there's your volume there. Okay. Okay. Lewis, turn your caps off or I'm going to kick you out of my chat. No problem, Maria. Thank you, Lewis. So, simultaneous, Luna, you asked me to do a simultaneous equation. You have to do the 3 types: substitution, elimination, and I handed out a worksheet that showed all the different variations of them, right? Did I use 10 as the height? Oh, it's the height of the cone, Luna. So the height from the top here all the way to the middle down here, this here is 10. That's the height of the cone. So that's why I used height here. The formula is 1/3 pi r squared times height. No, there's no Pythagoras. If you have a cone and you know the height of the cone, then there's nothing you have to do. You're thinking, I know what you're thinking of, Luna. You're thinking about the surface area of the cone. The surface area of the cone, you need this slant side, you need the length of this, but we're not finding the surface area of the cone. Yeah, do you want, Luna, do you want me to do this one here that I have up? We can do this one here. So for you guys who are trying this, there's no memorizing any formulas. I have them all on. So let's do this. I'm going to clear the room off for this other question here. All right. Neither the x's match or the y's match, which is a little bit annoying, nor are they the opposite signs. So I have to do some work here. So I surround these here, and then I got to figure out which one I would like to match. I would personally rather match the x column here. All right. So I would times the top equation by 5 everywhere, like so. And then the bottom, I would times that by 3 everywhere. Because then actually it's better if we times it by -3. Because when you do that, the top here we're going to have positive 15x, and on the bottom we'll have negative 15x. Right? So let's, if you don't mind, I'm going to rewrite everything here. So 5 times 3x is 15x. 5 times 7 is 35y. And then 5 times 5 is 25. On the bottom, -3 times 5 is -15x. -3 times 11 is -33y. And then -3 times 10 is -30. So these are my 2 equations here. All right. Now we can do elimination like you wanted, Luna. If you add going down, these are opposite signs, so you get 0, which is nice. If you add these 2 going down, you get 2y. And if you add these 2 down, you get, it looks like -5. All right. And then the last step is divide out by 2, divide by 2. Some of you guys love decimals, so if you go to 5 divided by 2, you should get -2.5. Okay. So now you have your y coordinate, right? So you have your y, and now we have to find your x. So figure out, you can either insert it into the top one here, let's call that number 1, or you can insert it into number 2. If I had the choice, I would insert it into, I don't know, number 1. So we have 3 times x plus 7 times our y value, which is this. And that's equal to 5. So 3x plus 7 times negative 2.5, so that's negative 14, negative 17.5, I believe. So I'll take away this plus sign because it's going to be minus 17.5 is equal to 5. Put that on the other side. 3x is equal to 5 plus 17.5. 3x is equal to 22.5. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Now if we do this, it's going to be something like x is equal to 7.5, I believe, if you use your calculator. So now I can read what's going on the chat. Douglas, you multiplied by 2. I don't know why you're doing that. What is a fraction? 7.5. So it's a 7.5, which is 15 over 2. I mean, I like fractions because they're easier to work with than decimals, but I accept decimals. Yes, you can. I prefer fractions. So for any of you guys going into extended, I will just not mark your papers if you write in decimals on in my class. So question 4b, Maria. Question 4b. Is this the one that you're talking about, Maria? Just let me know so that I know what you're. Ollie, I'll take a look at one. Yeah, good. All right, so this one here, the main thing, Maria, maybe you forgot, is that you guys got to know what a prism is. A prism, we looked at this, right? The word prism. And it's any shape that is 2-dimensional, and then when you stretch it, it becomes the same thing but 3-dimensional. All right? So if that's the case, what you have to do is you have to look at this triangle here, Marie, okay, and find the area of this triangle and then multiply it by how long you stretch it out, like this amount here. So if we know this triangle here, it's 1/2 times the base, which is 12, times the height, which is 9. So that's going to be find the area of this triangle. And then you can imagine it that someone is putting like in a ton of triangles stuck to each other, that's 9 or 18 centimeters long. So it's the area of this face here, the front face, times by how long you stretch it, which is 18. So you just have to figure that out. So half times 12 is 6. 9 times 6 is 54. And now you just have to figure out what 54 times 18 is. So if I go 54 times 18, I have 972. And it's centimeters. Sorry, it's not. It's the total volume, so I should change this to volume. So it's the area of the face times by the length in which we stretch it. So the volume is 972 centimeters cubed in this case. All right. People getting crazy on the chat. I'm going to hang up in a moment. I mean, you guys go on your WhatsApp chat and yell at each other. I'm here to help. So if you guys are just going to use the chat line to yell at each other, go to WhatsApp. So you want to do I'll do inequalities, Luna. Tell them to relax, right? Yeah, all right. I will try and find I'll try and find a hard inequalities one, okay? Just a quick yeah, Nikita, I know it's you. Everyone knows it's you here. Nikita in the house. All right. One more time for you guys who are going to forget this tomorrow. When you divide by a negative in an inequality, right, the sign has to switch the other way. We'll see how many people forget this in tomorrow's test. So, inequality test. Or let's see. That one's too easy for you, too easy. That's not so bad. We did some quadratic equations at the beginning, Nikita. So I'm just trying to find a nice inequality. So this is for 5. Ciao, Titu. Simultaneous equations. Let's see if I can make one up here. I can do something like this. Did you want to try something like that, Ollie and Luna? I don't know if this is if you consider this hard, but it's something off the top of my head. All right. For those who want to try and do, this is a 4, my apologies here. This is a 4 here. So how does this work? Yeah, it should work okay. And then plot. So try that question there. Hi, Ollie. You said sir. Yeah, Ollie, I'm watching you. Stop the, yeah. You guys quit it. For people who are evaporating. Louis, I'm going to kick you out. Remember, I've recorded this whole chat, so it's the night before your exam. I've offered to help people online, and I have a whole recording of this chat. I'm just going to cut and paste it and send it to your parents and say, guess what your son, daughter is doing when they have an exam tomorrow? Writing that they're evaporating on my chat. Yeah, exactly. Remember, I have a recorded video of what's going on here. So for everybody who has said something stupid and wasting their time instead of studying tonight, if you've told your parents that you're online and that you're practicing math online, I can just send them a chat and be like, look what they're doing on their chat. Ollie, for this question, what I would do, there's some teachers who do things differently. What I do is I try and find the lowest common multiple for all 3 of these numbers here. So find the lowest common multiple for 7, 4, and 2. And then what I do is once I find that lowest common multiple, I multiply that in everywhere, right? Here, here, and here. So take that as your first step, Ollie, and try it out. All right, so let's multiply 28 through everything. So I'll change colors, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the 28 beside every one of these numbers like this, 28 and 28. And I'm not going to multiply. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel out every one of these. So 28 and 7 becomes a 4, and 28 and 4 becomes a 7 here. All right. And now we've gotten rid of all the fractions, so that's good because you guys hate fractions. 7 times 3 is 21x. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8, and I still leave the brackets the way they are. And that's less than, well, we have 14 times 1, which is negative 14x. So there you go. Now you have like a much simpler linear equation to solve. Luna, let's see if you get the same answer as me. So if you got the same answer, then you're okay. Because I haven't seen your work, I can't check to see what you've done is like perfectly correct. So I'll continue and then you can tell me if you got the right answer. You can find a common denominator and then you just eliminate all three. But I think this is confusing for some students. So I just say find the lowest common multiple and then cross everything out, because 28 is divisible by 4, 7, and 2. So it's convenient. So if I continue Luna just to see, so negative 8 and negative 40 is less than negative 14x. And now we want to put all the numbers on one side and anything with an x on the other. So I don't know, let's put this over here and the negative 40 over there. So we have positive 40 here. 21x minus 8x is 13x. But I bring this negative 14x over, so it becomes positive 14x. And then we can add these two together. And then it's a little bit ugly, but that's okay. We have this answer, x is less than 40 divided by 17. And like I told you guys, I don't like decimals, so I just keep it like this. And then, of course, if we want, I can plot this. So I'll give you a number. I give you guys a number line on the test, so you don't have to worry about that. And we want any numbers that are less than this one. So first of all, it's a hollow dot because there's no line here. And we want any numbers less than that width there. Oh, did I do a 30? Sorry. Yeah, it's 27. Sorry, 27. 27. Very good. Thanks, guys. 27. 27. Is that good, Luna and Matthias and Ollie and everyone else? Yeah. It's because I didn't eat my chicken and I'm hungry. Yeah, I think, Luna, remember that, I think, Luna, if you're only multiplying this, sorry, let me go back up to the top. If you multiply just this one and this, whoops, and this one here, but not this one here, then that's wrong. You have to multiply that, that, and that all at the same time. Luna, I don't understand. Oh, okay. So, oh, is that okay? Remember, you have to multiply all three of them. In like, if I give you the most, if I give you the most extreme example, it would be something like this. Watch. Let's just give you a case. This is for everybody's knowledge in the future. If you have x plus z minus b plus q is equal to p plus l minus k plus I don't know, g. So if I multiply everything by 3, right, I have to multiply him, 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 and her. So there you go. Have a nice evening, Sophia. Take care. All right. So there was, I don't know, the inequalities, I guess, would be um, a more advanced one because you have to do fractions and you guys don't really like fractions. So anytime I want to give something more advanced, all I need to do is put some fractions and you guys kind of like go mental. Can I find another one that's harder than what I did there? Word problems, I think I have linear equations, maybe. Um, I'm trying to remember what other questions I have that are word problems. I don't think I normally don't put too many on. You guys hate them, but it's just for those who really, really need to practice their word problems. So, um, exponential rational functions, proportion deduct quadratic function, quadratic equations. Where's quadratic factorization? Linear inequalities. I'll see if there's another linear linear equality question. That's difficult. Most of them are straightforward. Yeah, I think the ones with the fractions are what freaks you guys out the most. Maybe something like these are all pretty straightforward, but you can just double check to make sure you know how to do this one. Like this is very basic compared to what we just did, so you can just make sure you know how to do that. Could you do one or two, please? What would you like to do? One or two what? I mean, there's word problems for simultaneous equations, but I didn't give you guys those ones because I figure, yeah, I will make people do those next year when it's a little bit harder. No problem. Astolfo, whoever that is, I don't know. It looks like it could be maybe who Chloe, or it could be Cindy, or it could be who else is in the boarding house? Matthew is already there. Nikita is already there. Someone who's in love with manga or whatever this stuff is. All right. I'll think about it, Ollie. You can be the muscle, Ollie, all right? Just wait till I'm famous like all these other gamers or whatever. I have, 50,000 subscribers to listen to math. Wouldn't it be funny if like you guys logged in and waited to the very end and then I just showed you the exam and everybody who logged out and didn't attend didn't get to see the exam? That would be funny, wouldn't it? Let me see here. I put some word problems up, by the way. Some fairly basic ones here. I won't. Yes, exactly. Oh, wait a second. Oh no, I can't show it. Yeah, we'll see. I put some easy ones for some of you guys. Are gonna like really cruise through the first page. It'll be easy. Then you'll get some hard ones. Then you'll get some easy ones again and get some hard ones. I didn't make it like so that by the time you get to the middle, you're crying, right? So I gave you guys chances to skip stuff and go on easier stuff and everything else, right? No, no, no. I'll torture Matthias and Douglas next year when they're in my class. All right, which here? There's three of them here, Luna. 1, 2, and 3. Which one do we want to do? So, when 4 times a certain number is okay. So when they always talk about a number, I think of a number, you have to define your number. That's the main thing with word problems, right? So when 4 times a certain number, so when I times a certain number by 4, when 4 times a certain number is subtracted from 23. So when this is subtracted from 23, so 23 subtract, the result is -5. So how does that work? All right, Luna, here we go. So 4 times, and this number here is subtracted from 23. So 23 subtract that number. The result is, so this result is meaning equal sign, right? So you want to look for words like is. This usually means equal sign here. All right, so you got that one. So to finish it off, I rainbow this over here. And it becomes -23, which gives us -28. Divide both sides by -4. And we get x is equal to 7. All right, good. I hope you got 7. All right. Next one, let's take a look. 2 less than twice a number. So this is, you have twice a number, but it's 2 less than that. And that is equal to, so we know that that's our equal, so that is equal to 6 more. So 6 more, so plus 6 more than 4 times the same number. So 4 times the same number. So we call this x our number, right? 2 less than a certain number. So both of them both have x's. All right. So find the number. So this, for you guys, the hardest part, if you can do linear equations, you guys usually can do these without a problem. The big thing is creating the equation. So try and really develop it in your mind. 2 less than twice a certain number. So that's what this means. So the easiest way to do this is I would put this number on that side, and I would put that on that side here. So you have -2, -6 is equal to 4x subtract 2. And then you have get -8 is equal to 2x. And divide by 2, divide by 2. You should get x is equal to -4. Did I do that one right? You got 4. I get -4. So what have we done wrong? 2. -4. Okay, so we're okay then. Good. -4. So let's take a look at the last one here. I think of a number. Fine. Here's our number. I'm thinking of it. If I divide the sum of 8 and the number by 4, so if I divide sum meaning addition, right? So the sum of 8 and a number by 4, if I do that, if I divide the sum of 8 and the number by 4, the result is, so here's my equal sign, right? The result is, that's our equal. 1 more, so plus 1, right? 1 more than 1/3 of the number. So 1 more than 1/3 of a number. Very good, Ollie. All right. So it's a little bit ugly now because you have fractions everywhere. So Ollie, this is what I was teaching you earlier on. What I would do is find the LCM of this whole thing. So 1/3 times 3, 1/3, 1/3x plus 1. Very good. So now what I would do is you have this ugly fraction here, and let's take this and rewrite it like, if you don't mind, I'm going to rewrite this as x/3 instead of 1/3 x. Then it's easier to understand. Okay, so remember, you guys, when you multiply something by 1/3, it's like taking that thing and dividing it by 3. Same thing. So rewrite it like this. Now, what's the lowest common multiple between 4 and 3? Well, you guys should know that. That's 12, right? So I'm going to take my 12 and multiply it. Remember, Luna, everywhere. Here, here, and on the outside of these brackets here. All right, so I create my brackets. All right, and so if you don't mind, I'm just going to put that number here, 12. I'm going to put the number here, 12, and I'm going to put the number here, 12. That way we can see everything, okay? Now let's start crossing stuff out. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And 12 times 1 is 12. So let me rewrite it so it's a little bit prettier, okay? That's a 4 times x. And this is a 12 here, like so. Okay. Next, you guys should always expand, right? Whenever we're solving linear equations, you have to expand. And you have 4x plus 12, like so. Let's put that on that side and that down over on that side. So this will be minus 3x on this side. So I've gotten rid of that. And that becomes minus 12 on that side. So I've gotten rid of that. And then in the end, we end up getting 24 minus 12 is 12. And while 4x minus 3x, that ends up being something nice, like so. All right, so that's how we go about doing that word problem. All right. It's almost chicken time, guys. Very wrong. Same. Okay. So you guys know how to do it? Matthias, I'm going to bring you the bones tomorrow. You can eat those. Yeah, remember, you have to multiply everything. Notice my red lines. This is the most important thing. Everything gets multiplied by 12, right? I mean, it's very. I can use a numerical answer, like if you got 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. Imagine. All right, this is true. Now imagine I multiply this side here by 2, so we have 14, don't we? But if you only multiply this by 2, you'd have 3 plus 8, and now all of a sudden the balance is wrong. All right, so that's why if we go like this, and you have 2 here, you'd go 2 times 4 and 2 times 3. So that would be wrong. So you'd have 6 plus 8, and now that maintains the balance. So there's a very logical mathematical way of proving that that's what you're supposed to do. All right. Matthias, I have such a killer problem. I'm really proud of it. I wish I could show you right now, but I can't. Ah, yes, okay. Is that okay, Luna? The thing is, Matthias, I know you're the only person who's going to sit on it. So what I did is I just made it unsolvable. So you just like sit there and start crying until you give up. Luna, I multiplied by 12 because I wanted to get rid of this 4 and this 3 really quickly. So if I ever, yeah, it's the LCM, yeah. So if you ever have fractions in equations, find the LCM and multiply it through, and it gets rid of everything quickly. If you want me to give you another example, I can do it. I can make up another linear equation so that you can see what I mean. Do you want me to do a hard linear equation so you practice that idea with the LCM, Luna? All right, so here's classic. Let's see. I mean, the answer could be ugly because I'm kind of I'm making it up off the top of my head, but let's give it a try, all right? Try this on your own, okay? X minus 2 over 7 minus, here's a tricky one. I love this one. 2x plus 3 over 2 is equal to 4 plus 6x over, let's make it 3 in this case. So here's a tricky one. Try this one here. All right. I'm going to go and see if my chicken is dry and old. No, I'm going to turn on my rice. I'll be right back. Yeah, what's the LCM between 7, 2, and 3? Let's see. So you can do this in your head or you can just multiply them. So 7, 14, 21 doesn't work. Does 28 work? No. 35, no. 42. I think 42 is the LCM. Yeah, there you go, Ollie. That's good. So you take the ugliest, normally what I do is I take the ugliest number, which is a prime number like 7, and I just keep multiplying it until I start asking myself, does 2, yeah, I know it's terrible. I told you I made it up, so it's going to be terrible. So I'm just going to erase this. And then I'm going to do some things. So I'm going to take this whole thing, and it's going to be multiplied by 42 here, right? So I'll wrap that guy up here. I'll put 42. Wrap that guy up here. I'll put 42. And wrap that guy up here, and I'll put 42 as well. So I'll leave you guys to keep working on it. I'll just give you a break. All right. Let me know. I can continue a little bit, and we can, or if you want to give you some more time. Done. All right, so I can start. Nice. So let's continue on. 42 divided by 7 is 6. 42 divided by 2 is 21. 42 divided by 3 is 14, I believe. And now I'm going to foil this all in. Oof, it's terrible, isn't it? So 6x minus 12, subtract, open bracket. I'm going to keep big square brackets so we don't make this mistake. 21 times 2x is 42x. 21 times 3 is 63. And then that's equal to 14 times 4, which is 56. And 14 times 6, which is 84x. Like so far. I'll change colors because this one's terrible. And now you have to make sure that this negative sign goes into both of these. That's the tricky part for this one. So I'm going to rewrite everything just so that I make sure that I do this. Like so. Add like terms. So these two are like terms. So you get take away 6. Yeah, I thought you would do that. This is the killer one here, right? You got to watch out. So 32 6x, negative 12 and negative 63. Ooh, negative 73, negative 75 equals 56 plus 84x. Now I will take this here and put it onto that side, so it becomes positive 36x. I will take this here and put it onto that side, so that's this, 8 plus 3, 11, 12. So that's 120x on one side. And negative 75 and negative 56, 11, 8 plus 5, negative 131. So it's quite ugly, isn't it? Yeah, and as I made it up, it's horrendous. Like x is equal to. Yes, there you go. Let's party, Luna. Woo! There we go. So there's what our answer is there. Yeah, that's the good thing is that 131 is prime. So oh, 120. Sorry, thank you. 120, 120, 120. Thank you. Yeah, 131 is prime, so you know yeah, it's savage. It's so ugly. 131 over 120. What is that as a decimal? It's probably like something that's gonna make me vomit up my chicken even though I haven't eaten it yet. 131 divided by 120. Yeah. 1.091666. If you change that to a fraction, it goes back to 131 over 120. This is super savage. I think I've taken stuff. I don't think I've made anything up, so it's like so bad, you know. Because for me, whenever I have to make the mark scheme, then it makes yeah, sick. 109.1666. Number of the beast. Terrible. It proves that it's terrible. 6666. Number of the beast, man. It wasn't meant to be. There you go. Yes, everyone's thinking the same thing. Diablo. Yeah, there's a yeah. It's the 7 reoccurring, right? There you go. All right, so there's your LCM stuff, Luna. So by now you should know for sure, right? Multiply everything. Yeah, you guys. I mean, I don't even remember what the exam looks like. I wrote it like a long time ago. I even got Madame Rochefort to look at it. So if she thinks it's okay, then it has to be okay, right? Maybe simultaneous word problem. We could do a simultaneous. That do you guys here? I'll put 2 more word problems just in case here while I'm looking around. Just in case you forget. Remind you of these types of questions here. All right. Leave you that for while I'm looking around. All right, Ollie, take care. All right, what did I miss? I had to check on my rice. The review sheet. Which one are you talking about, Douglas? I'll see. Coordinate geometry of algebra, sets and diagrams, relations and functions, simultaneous equations. Next year, Douglas, I think we're going to do simultaneous equation word problems. This year I left it out. It's just, you guys hate word problems so much that giving you simultaneous equation word problems are going to drive you crazy. You mean this... Well, if you've done the ones in the book, there's the ones with money. Let's see. Oh, you like word problem. For number 7, Luna, for 7, I haven't tried it out yet. Just give me a second. Something like that, Douglas, maybe. Did you try this one? All right. I think this is one of these ones, Douglas, that we have to make a table, you know? Like this here. I mean, these are difficult. I mean, you saw me, I read these two and I'm just like, yeah, I hate word problems. So try this out, see what you have. And Luna, I can try number 7 here. What number added in of 3? So x plus 3 over x plus 7 should equal to 7 over 9. That's what you should have for this, your equation. And then I cross multiply, Luna. So your 9 is going to be up here, and then on this side it's going to have your x plus 7. Like so. So you have 9x plus 27 is equal to 7x plus 49. Put that over there, so we have 9x minus 7x is 2x. Put that over there, so we have 49 minus 27. And then 4 minus 2. I get x is equal to 11. Charlotte. Should I call the hospital? I'll make sure that I have like speed dial 911. I think I have one hard age one on the test. Because I have a feeling some of you guys are you're gonna finish my test so early and you'll be bored. So I gave you a hard one. Yeah, Charlotte, I got 911 on speed dial. Try it out, Charlotte. I'll wait until you guys try it. Man, I'm gonna go eat my chicken. Yeah, I know. Look, I know that Luna's in this chat. Douglas is in this chat and Charlotte's in this chat, and we're going to become best friends in next year's extended class. So we should all work together and have fun. All right, let's see if I know how to do this one. I've never tried this one before in my life. So 4 years ago, let me cut this up. Whoops, let's try and cut this up. Sure, I can hear your voice. Sure. All right, let's see. This is 4 years ago here, 4 years ago, I guess. This is now. I'm guessing we have to do something like this. Oh, my chicken scratch. In 2 years' time, so this is +2, right? His age doubled will equal his brother's age. How old is he? Okay. How are you guys doing? Do you have something? So this is Adrian here. Let's call him Adrian. And this is bro. This is bra. Bra. So let's see. 4 years ago, Adrian was 1/4 of his brother's age. So let's see. His brother is X. In 2 years, so let's see. 4 years ago. So his bra has to be X minus 4 by now, right? Yes, I figured you'd like that there, Luna. So bra. Should I have a dot 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 meaning like bra here, bra. There you go. Okay. So now his bra is X minus 4. And Adrian was 1/4 of his brother's age. So here I figure it's 1/4 times X minus 4. Did anyone get this in their table? Anyone else? Douglas, what do you think? Kinda. So you for sure have to reference someone calling, like someone's age has to be X, otherwise it's impossible, right? So what I always try and create a now version, right? And we're manipulating Adrian's age of his brother's age. So we should make his brother's age the easier one, right? We should make his brother X, and then his brother 4 years ago should be just X minus 4. Because Adrian, we're going to write this complicated 1/4 formula for. So that's why I chose, if you make Adrian X, why would you do that? Because you're not comparing Adrian's age against his brother's age. So there's a little bit of a trick to it. So if you guys figure out which one you are comparing, then you can easily create one like X and then X minus 4. And now we have a reference for his brother. And now we know that it's 1/4 times X minus 4. So now we can fill in the now. So if Adrian was 1/4 X minus 4 4 years ago, now he should be whatever his age was back then, but plus 4, because now it's the now, isn't it? Yeah, Douglas, I would make, well, do you understand why I chose his brother to be X? Is that easier? And now we can continue on in the future, right? So let's see how this works. So I extend my lines here. Yeah, okay, you got it. All right, so let's do the future. I'll give you a couple minutes. Now that you got your past, figure out your future and try and create an equation. I'll let you guys think about that for a minute or two, okay? So try that out. So this is +2, right? Here, +2 in the future. All right, you think you got, anyone else got the future thingy? Should I write my answer down to check? I mean, the bra is easy. It's just x plus 2, isn't it? And then now you can do the future thing for this guy. It's a quarter times x minus 4 plus 4 plus 2. If you want, you can simplify this first, but I just left it as is, right? So now we have all these statements. So now I'm going to go back to the word problem and read what it says. In 2 years' time, his age, so Adrian's age, okay, Adrian's age doubled, his age doubled, so doubled Adrian's age will equal his brother's age. Because we had 1/4 here, right? Because it says Adrian was 1/4 of his brother's age. So we put a 1/4 in the 4 years ago, and then I brought that forward to here, to now, because it was his age plus 4, and now I brought it forward again, and it's another 1/4. So I keep bringing his age forward, right? So remember, it all starts back in this square here. This is the square that you have to start with. Adrian's age, you have to reference Adrian's age all the time. Yeah. So Adrian's age is 1/4 x minus 4. And then jump ahead 4 years in the future. Well, it's this number plus 4. And now if you jump ahead again in another 2 years, it's his age at the now plus 2. So I have to keep using this 1/4 because that's what his age was 4 years ago. That's our reference age. We have to keep using that. Does that help you understand that at all? Are we okay with that, Douglas? Right, so what else could it be? You can't let the 1/4 disappear. It can't just, you can't use his, remember his age at the very beginning is 1/4. Okay, so you got it. So 1/4 x minus 4. And then I just keep adding 4, and then I add another 2, like to keep jumping through the years. So let's go back. His age doubled, so this is Adrian's age. And we know Adrian's age doubled. So in 2 years' time, that's this thing here. So that's his age in 2 years' time, which is, that will double. If you don't mind, I'm going to add 4 plus 2 is 6. And I'm going to put 1/4 times x minus 4 here. And that's equal to that guy, his brother's age, x plus 2, which is the easy one. So let's start working on this. We have this ugly fraction. What I would do is I would FOIL this in first. I'd keep the 2 on the outside. I'll do that after because I like showing my work. So 1/4 x. Well, it's relevant because it says in 2 years' time, Adrian's age is doubled, will equal his brother's. So we need this here. All right. So that's why it's relevant. In 2 years' time, twice this age here will equal to this age here. So that's what I've written in my equation. All right. So if I FOIL this in, I get 1/4 x minus 1, and then we have this plus 6 here again, right? So we have that. Let's clean this up. -1 plus 6 is 5. So we have 2 1/4 x plus 5 is equal to x plus 2. All right. Let's FOIL this in now, right? So 2 times 1/4 is 1/2 plus 10 is equal to x plus 2. We're going to move some stuff around. You're good, Luna? All right, you're good. Okay, good. Let's throw the half x over here, and let's throw the 2 over there. So minus 2 and negative 1/2 x. So we got 10 minus 2 is 8. And 1x subtract half x is 1/2 x. And you can either cross multiply or divide by a half, whichever one you guys choose. I just divide by half on each side, and you should get x is equal to 16, I believe. So that makes, and they ask how old Adrian. So we know how old his brother is, right? So let's see if we can get Adrian's age correct. How old is age now? So we need to use the now bit. So it's 1/4 times 16 minus 4 plus 4, right? 16 minus 4 is 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3 plus 4. And we get 7 here. That's what we should get. Is that okay? And now watch this. Whoa, my screen went crazy. Let's see, are we correct? Where's my answers? Where's my answers? Ah, ta-da, look at this. Adrian is 7 years old. That is good. That always makes me feel that we did all that work and it's correct. So, I mean, but I know you guys. Adrian has to grow up. Yes, it's true. Hey, look, as you guys get better and better in math, you're going to feel like, yeah, I'm back at the thing here. As you guys get better and better at math, you'll have this like amazing satisfaction of working on a really long question and then getting it correct. You'll be like, ah, yeah, I can't believe I spent. That's what high level math is spending like a page worth of stuff. Look, Luna, they want to know how old Adrian is, and my age for Adrian now is 1/4 times x minus 4 plus 4. So that's the equation I used. All right, good. Your lawyer view, yeah, Matthias. Just remember, you're with me next year for the whole year. No, I mean my loyal visitors will get a 7 because they stay to the latest point and they get the most out of the thing. Lewis came in, yelled, and then left. I don't know if he got anything out of our live stream, but you guys are at least getting some questions. Yeah. You guys are going to get a 7 anyways. You guys are all smart, I know it. So it's okay. I'm not worried about you guys. Hey, Matthias, I had someone tell me in a conference how they really want to push your brain, so this is between you and somebody else, not me. I don't know. I forgot what I put on the test. I wrote it like a week ago, but that's okay. Remember, the test is out of 100 points, you guys. So if I give you a word problem that you have trouble and it's worth 3 points, you still have 97 points to get, so you're okay. But you guys are intelligent. You guys are really good. I think you're going to do well on the test. The geo was 40. Yeah, wow. Maybe the geo didn't take it. He doesn't love you guys like I do. That's the question. That's the problem. So, here, look, watch this. So it's out of 100 points. I'll give you an example how it is. Watch. That I don't know yet, Charlotte. I have to check my mark scheme. If I have 2x over a, all right, times b over c, and this is worth 1 point, tell me how long is that going to take you? Two bx over ac. That takes literally 2 seconds. So you guys have a whole bunch of questions where you're going to speed through and do it very well, and then other questions where you're going to have to work hard. And you guys already know test taking. You guys already know test taking techniques, which is do all the easiest, fastest questions as fast as you can, as quick as you can. Then come back to the harder ones and do that, and then come back. So if you guys know this test taking strategy, then you'll get all your full points on all the easiest questions. And then on the harder questions, you'll come back and you have to just be very structured, right? You have to know what you're doing, show your work, have clean work, up, down, left, right. You should be okay. Yeah, you guys have been doing a little bit of drama on the chat. 2 hours, yes. That's why it's 100 points, is because Madame Rochefort made sure that I knew that it was 2 hours. So I had to give 2 hours. I think last time I gave you guys the trimestral in November, I think it was too short. Yeah, Douglas, I know your work. I've seen it. It's like I close my eyes, put my pencil on a piece of paper, and draw circles and squares for 3 seconds. But just kidding. No, I understand your work. Ask for ask for extra paper, and then you're okay, Douglas. I don't mind. Just make sure when you give your paper in that you write the question on there, right? No, the trimestral, I thought it was short last time. I don't think it was so long. I'll have to look it up again. I'll see if I have it copy on here. I have to figure out. Let me take a look. Trimestral 1, trimestral exam. So here, you guys, we can look at the trimestral 1 we've already done, so you can already see it, right? Look, it's 12 pages, okay. Easy, okay. Write in index form, easy. Write in powers of 3, easy. Some negative indices, easy. Okay, question 5, harder, all right, fine. Substitution, easy, easy, easy. All right, substitution a little bit harder. Adding like terms, come on guys, adding like terms. Multiplying terms. Not bad. Expand, come on, expanding. Not hard, expanding. Longer expansion ones, okay, they got a little bit harder. Yeah, with fractions, of course, because I know you guys love fractions, so I put that in there. And then what you guys needed to know how to do is factorize. That's the biggest thing you guys learned this year, was a lot of factorizing. So table method, box method, and of course, difference of squares. Oh, you mean this one? No, it was awesome. I know. I did that on purpose. More factoring, difficult factoring, some challenging factoring, square root laws. No, I mean for this for something like here, I don't know. Yeah, fractions shouldn't exist. I'll talk to the math police on the planet and make sure they abolish them. Okay. Matthias, for example, this is worth 2 marks. If you just write down your answer and you get it wrong, you get 0. If you substitute the values in here, you might get 0.5. Yeah, we all shouldn't exist. Should we get really philosophical in here? And then further down, you guys had, okay, the square root laws were a little bit hard. It's new. You guys had to learn that this year. Square root laws, square root laws, square root laws, and oh, we're already done. Okay, you guys can write this exam in 10 minutes. All right. So there you go. Was that enough, Douglas? Did you see everything that you needed to? I know it's a little bit crazy. My writing's no good because the color can give you a seizure, but you should be able to see everything. Now I'm going to go and eat my chicken and rice. And you guys should go to bed. Matthias. All right, good. So you guys are all right. All right, tomorrow I will walk by the exam room and see if everything's doing okay. There's no point existing if there's... all right, Matthias, you're just getting grim. Get out of here, I'll kick you out of the chat. Is the hardest thing the same level? I'm going to go stress over the exam. The hardest thing here in the exam... I still don't know what was the hardest thing. Just let me take a look at the exam again and see what's the hardest thing. And the booklet. Easy stuff. Yeah, easy stuff. Easy stuff. Easy stuff. Bye, Charlotte. Take care. That's easy. That's easy. 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 Whoa, that one's complicated. Matthias, so have fun with that one. Easy. Oh, this didn't come out right. Easy. 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 Harder. Easy. Easy. Yeah, harder. Easy. Easy. Harder. And then easy. Yeah, I would say it's going to be easy. I mean, remember, every one of your teachers, I don't know about your history teacher, whoever, but every one of your teachers should be, they should always give you something that's like, at least in the sciences, the chemistry, the physics, you have to learn to think outside the box. This is why I give a little bit some questions that are a little bit harder, because you guys, if you've been getting good marks in math for years by just by doing 10 problems, and then on the test the same problem is as your practice, then you didn't learn anything. All you did is memorize how to do 10 problems, and then you just like put that back on. So I have to try and give you problems where you have to think outside the box and organize stuff. I mean, you guys got to be really good in my algebra. You're really good at algebra next year for my extended class. There should be like no little mistakes with fractions or anything like this. This is why I'm giving 3-star questions for you guys to get challenged in an exam condition, because you have to be on point in an exam. It's something you've never seen before. You got to react quick, and you have to react quick and get it right. And the best way to do that is giving you something a little bit more difficult in an exam rather than just giving you 3-star questions to do all the time at home. That doesn't do anything. So we'll see how it is. I don't think there's anything too challenging on the exam. You guys should be okay. So with this in mind, you guys should be good. Go and get some sleep and relax. And I'll see you guys tomorrow sometime during or after the exam. You can come and see me after you've written the exam if you want. And you can ask me about a question if you want, because everyone will have written the exam after whatever time I'll be around, okay? Ciao, guys. No problem. Bye, Douglas. Bye, Luna. Matthias. Everyone.